And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Going nuCLEar, full-blown coverage of the land. We are part of Collectin' and Connectin', a good vibes community. I am your host, Ethan Greenberg. Joining me tonight is the one and only Lysandra and my
Well,
son, Jacob. Thank you both for being here. How is everybody doing tonight? Lysandra, are you staying warm as you are now back in the land?
I'm not. It's cold as hell. it's
Well,
been uh it's been quite the winter. It's just like every winter I remembered as a kid. I remember people telling me that the winters were pretty mild the past few years, and then it's like I brought the snow.
you did. You came back from Colorado,
Yeah,
and
and you know what's crazy is it's like 70 degrees back. My parents are calling me and asking me, "Hey, are you done shoveling?" and talking crap, so that's fun.
well, what you have to
Yeah.
do is you need to get your children out to shovel. Jacob, just like I have Jacob do when we don't get snow. No, Jacob, how's the weather there? Is it the same as it is downstairs in this house?
No.
No, okay. The climate control is a little bit different. Lysandra, I don't know if they have this out uh, in houses in Denver, or Colorado, but here they do two separate HVAC units. You've got the HVAC for the upstairs and the HVAC for the downstairs. And I'm going to answer this question. Hey, Mike from the UK, thank you for tuning in. There are two links. Make sure you click on the one that it does not have the little cell phone looking thing. Click on the other one and you will get the full view and not the, I guess, the landscape view as opposed to the portrait view. So that is the key right there, sir. Thank you. So, yeah, it's kind of weird here. We don't have furnaces because it doesn't get that cold, and your HVAC, you have it heats, it cools, and it saves. Do you remember the electric heat pump? It heats, it cools, and it saves. So we've got that going on, but we do have a lot of the houses, the upstairs unit, the downstairs unit.
Yeah, we had a full furnace. It does get cold in Colorado because it's like a desert climate and the temperature fluctuates a lot. So it does get cold there, but it doesn't stay cold. And it's
Okay.
sunny a lot there, and it's not so sunny here in the winter.
No, it is gray in Cleveland.
It's very gray, but
And the surprising thing is being down in Virginia, having been here now, it's 2000. Well, I've been here since August of 2003, so over 22 years. I've gotten used to sunnier days. So when it is cloudy, I'm just like, it's like, oh, this is brutal. This is just brutal. So I don't know if I had to go back to Ohio, if I could really get used to the, the all of those cloudy days, I guess is what I would say. So, but you know what? Blue sky, what is it? Gray skies are going to clear up. Blue sky. What's that song? Blue skies.
blue skies come. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm actually okay. I've been adjusting pretty well. I actually like to go out and shovel because it gets a good workout in, and I actually am not as opposed to going outside and doing things as I used to. It's very odd, but
that. Well, now that is interesting. I
it
know
is.
he enjoys shoveling, except when he doesn't, and which is most of the time. So yeah, I don't know what to say to that. But speaking of blue skies or gray skies, I think that first of all, actually, hold that thought. Put a pin in it. Lysandra, tell everyone where they can find you and all of the things you have going on social media because
Oh,
you are a social media presence.
a little, just a
A little.
little.
What
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a podcast called the Squad Pod, and I have two lovely ladies, Lana and Yvette.
I'm in
That podcast
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Something else started up here, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
that we have collaborated on for the past couple years, and we have a pod actually coming up on the 7th at 8 p.m. And you can follow us on YouTube at Bougie Sports or at the Real Squad Pod on X, or you can follow at Bougie Sports on X as well, and that is our main content creator, Yvette. She's like what we would call her a pod mom.
The,
Me, and she recruited Lana and asked us if we wanted to be a part of a podcast one day out of nowhere, and we had just meshed. So
yes, absolutely. You certainly have. You do a great job there. I had the honor
thanks.
and joy of joining you for your podcast before,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
believe that, and you're a returner here to Going Nuclear. So
Yeah, and now it's just crazy because we've been around for a few years, and so now we're working on rebranding and doing a photo shoot, and so in the next couple months, just kind of keep your eyes open for some new stuff coming from us.
okay, I do appreciate that. I will be keeping my eyes
Yeah.
peeled on that. Jacob, are you going to do a photo shoot for me? Because I might need that. Can I get some glamour shots? No,
I don't
no.
know what you would need them for.
You could do the Costanza pose.
I could do the Costanza pose. I get on the couch there. That'd be very nice. Very nice
That's
there.
hot.
Oh my goodness! All right, we're going off the rails here a little bit, but
Just a little, but that's
just
why
a
I'm
little bit.
here.
I
That's why
know,
I'm
and
here.
it makes it easier to get through things like a Brown season when you do it with friends, when you do it with family.
When you do it with humor.
You have to laugh. Jacob, how much do we laugh during the games?
A lot.
A lot, whether we're making fun of the announcers or the players themselves. There's a lot to discuss there. We're laughing at people who are texting me or posting things. It's always a good time. So let's get down to it. Yesterday, the Cleveland Browns finished up the regular season with a win over in the Battle of Ohio over the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 20-18 as the season came full circle. It came full circle with Andre Schmidt missing kicks in week 1 that was essentially the difference in winning and losing. And yesterday, he's the hero. He makes the game-winning kick to lift the Browns to a victory 20-18. And on the other side, you had Evan McPherson get one kick blocked, one extra point blocked, and then did he slice the other one, Jacob? I think he sliced it wide right.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Oh, fantastic. You gotta love that. Anyway, I digress. My brain, it's really trying to think too hard here. In the game yesterday, or with the win, the Browns finish on a 2-game win streak. They beat the Steelers at home and then the Bengals on the road. They finished 5-12. Some people were pissed because that means that they are going to be picking 6th in the first round with their own pick. They were hoping to have a higher pick, but not to be.
Yeah.
And that kind of that's tough, but we'll get to that in a moment. Myles Garrett sets the NFL sack record.
Yes.
He ends up with 23. I don't know. What did you guys make of Myles Garrett's accomplishments this year and the way the team rallied around him? And everybody seemed to support him. They talked about this on local, Cleveland radio last year around this time. And during Super Bowl week, he's going up and down Radio Row with a flamethrower, torching the Browns. But Andrew Berry, to his credit, was like, "Nah, we're not trading you. You're staying here." Jacob, what do you think about how things came about for Myles Garrett in terms of where he was last February and how he ultimately ended this season?
Yeah, I mean, last February, I think it was an incredible handling of the situation by Andrew Berry in a time where it could have gone in so many different ways. And from going to that to essentially getting him for cheap, because at the time he was the highest paid edge rusher, but Micah Parsons was paid, TJ Watt was paid, and it made him look like a value deal. And first thing he does with the new money is goes and get the sack record. I mean, that's just incredible.
And especially considering the fact that the Browns were playing from behind almost every week, and teams didn't need to pass the ball much. And then, of course, you had the Steelers trying to avoid giving up a sack and sacrificing a game, and it almost cost them the playoffs.
Almost. Should have. It should have. Really should have.
Bastards. Lysandra,
Yep.
what about you? What are your thoughts about Miles and his accomplishment this year, and in a season of so many dark moments, a rare bright spot?
It was dark. It was sad, but there needs to be a lot. How do I want to say this? A lot needs to be said. I can speak, I promise.
I
A
know
lot
you
needs a lot needs to be said about the fact that like Jacob said, is he came in and the next season after blow torching the Browns and takes the sack record, and that is despite the crappy season that we have. So there's a lot to be said. I mean, some guys are just built differently, and most guys would have probably just kind of pumped the brakes a little bit and maybe said, screw it, we're losing anyway. And he was still tenacious enough and had all this heart to continue and make history despite the odds. It is too bad that we had the poor offensive performance throughout the season, and that unfortunately overshadowed a lot of his accomplishments. But at that moment when it truly counted and it happened, you know, the world stopped for a moment in the stadium. And it pissed off Jamar Chase, but screw him. It was Miles's moment, and I would have loved if he would have been able to have it at home, but it was well deserved.
Yeah, definitely was well deserved, and the joy on the team, on the sidelines, in the locker room,
it warmed my heart to see it.
Well,
even like practice squad players were
holding him up. They even commented on TV. They're holding up this massive man.
Yep,
and what did they say? David Njoku gave him an imaginary crown. And
and then started to chant among all fans, not just Browns fans, but also Bengals fans.
Yep. And Mike, going to break his own record next year. Book it. All right, we are going to book it. We will remember this. It's on recording. It's here. And then apparently, in relation to people complaining, Zach Taylor can also kiss his hiney, as him and Jamar Chase both complained about the delay in the action so they could celebrate a historic moment. Jamar Chase, he's a character. He's got a lot of comments, whether he's caught saying something, they got the great sound clips of him going, or I'm going to stay in my lane, I think was him earlier this season.
And now he's veering all over the place. Like,
yeah. And you know what? As we always like to, they like to bring up in Cincinnati, of course, you have an ownership group, the Brown family, descendants of Paul Brown, the founder of the Browns. We got Mike Brown there, and well, they don't like to fire coaches, and you know why? Because this is why they don't like to fire coaches.
I do not have the money. Okay.
I do not have the money. Okay. So Zach Taylor, despite his terribleness, is still going to be there. Yes.
Isn't that why Marvin Lewis stayed there for so long?
Yes, that is exactly why. That is exactly why they won't fire people, because he's like, I refuse to pay multiple people who
was it 19 years that fool was there, playoff free. It was crazy.
Exactly. Are these Browns? Of course, we're Browns fans. Brent, thank you for everyone who is commenting. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And what do we got here? From Chewy, Miles deserves better team success and stability, preferably with the Browns. Well, he's not going anywhere. They can't get rid of him. The salary cap hit would be astronomical at this point. So I have a feeling he's literally going to go from Cleveland to Canton, like Andrew Berry said. We had some bright spots this season. And that's part of the reason, and we're going to get to it in a moment, why probably Andrew Berry has a job and Kevin Stefanski doesn't have a job today. The draft class. The Cleveland Browns traded down from 2 to 5 so that the Jags could move up. And okay, look at this. Wait, timeout here. Sorry for the season. In a a Titans fan, so misery loves company. Hey, misery does love company. And we're going to talk about, some of the best opportunities in coaching here in just a few moments. But they trade down from 2 to 5. We pick up some extra picks, including an extra 1 this year, an extra 2 last year. We end up with Mason Graham. He turns out to be a solid player. The stats don't pop off the page. We then take with the first pick, our own pick of the second round. We take Carson Schlesinger, who is likely the defensive rookie of the year. He is an absolute beast. And I mean, I have this dreams of grandeur that maybe, just maybe, JOK somehow comes back. And could you imagine JOK and Carson Schlesinger at linebacker for the Browns?
That's how I have to say.
Exactly. Okay. Paulie Campione, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you for letting me be a part of the Collected and Connected Good Vibes community here. Then you use the second pick, the pick we got from the Jags in the second round. We pick up Quinshon Judkins, and things got off to a rocky start due to off-field issues.
Yeah.
But once he got there, he was amazing. He really was.
Yes.
It's a shame he went down with the injury. He went down with positive, though, that it wasn't any worse. A dislocated ankle and a broken fibula could have been so much worse. He'll be back for next season. I'm looking forward to that. You go to the third round, and you're picking up what we got. Fannin in the third round. And let's see, Jacob, was the only other third rounder Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, it was Fannin and Gabriel.
Yes. And thank you, Paulie. Appreciate that. Gabriel was the worst pick of the draft for the Browns. Let's all just. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that's for me. Dylan Gabriel was the most surprising and worst pick of last year's draft. Jacob, are you in agreement?
Yeah, I heard that he was. I've heard that he was been compared to Siaki Ika, as in they drafted him with no plan. No plan for him, and they still drafted him for whatever reason.
Oh, I just noticed you've got the Bougie Sports shirt on.
Yes,
I love it. I'm rocking with Snoopy, old school from Homage, and you're going old. You're going Nick Chubb. We've all got like.
I almost wore the Chubb.
Oh man, you guys have been.
I gotta promote our brand.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And over here, just to let you know, we will get to the question of the quarterback room. What will it look like? It was a mess last season. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a moment. But Lysandra, would you agree that Dylan Gabriel was the worst pick of the draft class for the Browns this past season?
Yeah, I would have to agree. That's probably why Stefanski's not there, because it seems as though that was a guy that he wanted, and that kind of caused a rift. And I think that's maybe where things started to go downhill with Gabriel and Kevin Stefanski having delusions of grandeur with this kid.
Right.
It's just, just quit trying to make fetch happen, dude. It's not going to happen.
It's not. I would also like to add, usually in a draft, there's this guy you pick in the third round. He's not as good as you thought. At least there's like a 7th rounder worse than him. In this draft, you have free agents, UDFAs, who are better than Dylan Gabriel was. Gage Alarvadan, he's been solid. He had a lot of preseason hype, was, of course, reduced to a smaller role during the regular season, which was, obvious. But, he had some potential, more potential than Gabriel, I'll say that much.
I think they're about the same height, so their ceiling should be the same, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I'd say so, yeah. And then Aiden Huntington.
Oh, a beast.
Incredible.
Absolute beast.
To be a UDFA, he reminds me of maybe Ronnie Hickman as just a complete steal.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. So, Travis, that good point. Travis Hunter played only 7 games for the Jags, 298 yards, 1 touchdown, did nothing noticeable on defense. And yet they changed a coach and they improved to 13. Finished 13-4, Jacob?
They finished on a 4-game winning streak, I believe.
Yeah. I mean,
they were competing for the 1 seed.
It's unreal what they did. So that gives you hope as a Browns fan. Do you think he can turn it around? Now, we don't have Trevor Lawrence under center either. Trevor Lawrence is a former number
No.
1 pick. And
Yes, he
obviously
is.
and we didn't think he was going to do very much. And finally, you get the right coach, and all of a sudden they're doing all right. I guess let me ask this, Lysandra, what was your overall impression um, of Shedeur Sanders and anything else that kind of stood out to you this season to give you hope going into next season? And then Jacob, I'll let you give your thoughts.
Oh gosh, he's such an enigma. He had a lot of off-season stuff going on, speeding tickets, all that stuff. And I just think there was just a lot going on. And considering who his dad was, I just think that he got kind of the crappy end of the stick. I think that Dion probably made a lot of enemies in his time in the NFL. And I think that Shedeur, they took it out on Shedeur, and a lot of the media and a lot of people were taking things out on Shedeur because of the fact that he is Deion Sanders' son. And I think that that was unfair to the guy. He didn't deserve that. He had success at Colorado. I mean, I got to see him play out there, and it was just kind of frustrating and sad to see how he came into the game, and you can tell that Stefanski didn't want to have him as his quarterback. It's like he didn't take time to talk to him on the sideline. There wasn't really any coaching going on. You didn't really see any true communication or any sort of bonding or anything kind of going on until the
Right.
last game when he was kind of,
Yeah.
Kev was like trying to make that last push. But I'm going to be really honest with you here. I think that maybe Shedeur threw the game a little bit just to make sure that Kevin gets out. That was like, man, I'm going to seal his fate a little bit, and maybe because you notice he picked it up towards the second half. But that's what I think.
That's a very interesting. That's an interesting. What's the word? Theory or hypothesis there.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
anything's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, they did talk about he spent extra time with Kevin every morning. He's in there watching film, and he sounded. I will say during the post-game interview, especially after the Cincinnati game, he said Kevin was tough on him, very tough on him. And I don't know what that how that translates or what that means. I think
to me that sounds like tough love.
Okay, but
that's the way it comes off to me. I think the way Shedeur meant it, if I had to think, I think he meant it as in he pushed Kevin pushed Shedeur to be better.
Or maybe he pushed him to run plays that were not conducive to his style of play either, too. So I don't know. I feel like there's
what do we have? Tinfoil hat hot take here. Okay. All right now. Hey now, we're gonna be nice, everybody here.
His play calling was almost set up to
his play calling was set up to fail for anybody, essentially.
But especially Shedeur. I mean, the kid didn't even have any snaps in the off season. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things. It was like a perfect storm, a perfect shit storm.
Yeah, it was not. It was not. It was not. It was not great. To say the least. So I guess the closing, Jacob, did you have anything else you wanted to add there? Because I didn't want to cut you off there.
Yeah, so, I mean, Shedeur, I think we just don't know about him. He has played good, he's played bad, it's just impossible to tell right now. And I definitely see the potential in him.
Yeah.
But I definitely see the downsides. And it's just impossible to tell. And it might he could be one of those guys who almost maybe like a Mac Jones. Mac Jones, he was horrible for New England, went to Jacksonville for a little bit, then went to the 49ers, and under Kyle Shanahan won a couple games to keep the 49ers in the playoffs, and then Brock Purdy comes back, and despite all the injuries, they were a game away from the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And so I think that Shador could possibly be similar to Mac Jones, where get him in the right system and he can thrive.
You want to know what I think? I think if Nate Peterman could get as many chances as he did, then
Yes!
Shador Sanders deserves an extra season. I'm just going to say that. If you want to talk about crappy quarterbacks. So
yeah, no, wait a second. So, all right, I'm seeing a lot of comments here. And first of all, thank you to everybody who is tuned in and who is commenting. I did not know this. Shador Sanders really is a lightning rod.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because, Jacob and I are in the same house and watching the same game and having these same discussions here. Let me say this. Shador has his flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a future Hall of Famer? Lysandra, you and I were talking about it right off the bat. No, I don't think he is. But with the right coaching, he can be all right. That's kind of the crazy thing. We're going to transition. We're going to talk a little bit about Kevin Stefanski and what he did. PJ Walker won games. Heck, he even got DTR a win. He won with crap quarterbacks. And I think he's got a lot of flaws, but he somehow managed to do that. So, I mean, now this is it. So first of all, Mike says Caleb Williams, terrible last year.
And now he's kicking ass.
He really is. And then, brings too much of a distraction, et cetera, et cetera. Wait, Nathan, what is this about Nathan Peterman? He's a quarterback from the It's pretty true. It's pretty true. And I agree. He is not the same talent level as Deion. But I'd also say that if you put somebody in the right system, with some talent around them, they can be successful. They don't have to be the absolute best. They don't have to be the most physically gifted. Are there questions about Sanders and some of the mistakes he makes and making them on the regular? Yes, but can that be corrected? That's what we really have to talk about and look at even the potential. Oh, now that's a low blow there. He's not even Josh Rosen level. All right. Josh Rosen was like a top 10 pick, and he got
he stunk it
up after 1 year. All right. All right. That's it. We're not going to have this argument, guys. It's all good.
Let's
keep
not
it real here.
Do this.
All right. The Browns basically.
Wow. He went there.
All right. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Wait, the Ball brothers. Okay. The Ball brothers there. Okay.
Oh.
So the Browns had one unit that was consistently good this year, and even they had their moments where they had letdowns. The defense. Mm-hmm. The special teams was the unspecial.
Special teams.
Yeah. Unspecial teams. The defense, 4th in yards per game in the league, 3rd in passing yards given up. They were 16th in the run attack. Rushing yards per game allowed. They had 3rd in sacks. Of course, Myles Garrett of obviously getting 23 of the 53 in the season, and middle of the pack, 14th in points per game. But of course, when you turn the ball over and give the other team a short field, that's certainly not going to help the cause. And further, when your unspecial teams either A, just simply allows return touchdowns like 2 to the Jets and losing that game, or just gives up very good returns in short fields, it is difficult sometimes for the defense. They do get tired when the offense is that inept. It is hard to overcome all of that all the time. So this morning, as we all figured, it all came out that the news broke. Kevin Stefanski gets canned, but Andrew Berry keeps his job. And so I had one, just a minute or so here. I want to play some of what Jimmy Haslam had to say. This is courtesy of Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns website and their media transcript. So bear with me here, folks. I just want to play a little bit from his presser.
and make a decision like this.
Jimmy, how much do you think, to use your words, the swing and miss on Deshaun Watson affected Kevin's ability to win, and the way the offensive line and wide receivers were sort of neglected over the last 6 years?
I mean, I don't think we need to cover it again. I mean, I said it, you know, when you trade for a player and you give up 3 number ones and 2 number 3s, that really depletes your ability to raise the roster. So did it have impact? Yes.
Jimmy, do you think the alignment between Barry and Stefanski suffered this year?
No,
The coach
no,
said he
no.
didn't know you were trading Joe Flacco. How does that happen?
Let me say this, and some of you said this is a dysfunctional building. I take huge exception to that. The 2 of them work just like this, okay? And they talk all the time. Their offices are basically next door to each other. I mean, is there tension in the building? Of course. I mean, this is a hard business, and there's lots of stuff going on. The 2 of them work together extremely well, extremely well.
Why would the head coach be surprised that it started?
I can't comment on that one thing, Tony, but if anybody says this is dysfunctional or those 2 of them did not work well, that's dead wrong.
So I don't know about you, but that is comedy. That's comedy gold right there.
If those 2 were so tight, then Barry should have been fired with them.
One could argue that. I would not have been opposed to it. But that cracked me up, the whole thing, you know, talking about the team being put at a disadvantage. So Andrew Barry was put at a disadvantage as well by not having draft capital in that move. Now, Jimmy Haslam in the offseason said, you can put that on me. You know, everybody was in on this decision, but it was on me. I know Jason Lloyd of The Athletic at some point reported that there was a point at which Andrew Barry went to Jimmy Haslam and said, it's too much. I don't think we should do it. But Jimmy Haslam said, write the check, whatever you got to do, pushed all the chips in, you know, and they went with Watson, but that really hosed the team when Watson had a longer suspension than they anticipated, and then never really was able to play. I even saw something come out today. I think it was Pete Briscoe who said something that basically Stefanski never wanted anything to do with Watson, and that's a problem. I think there were more problems than they would let on. I don't know. Jacob, did you ever get that sense that, especially this year, between Barry and Stefanski?
Yeah. I mean, this is a coworker environment. They're gonna have disagreements, but in no way did I think they hated each other in
Okay.
any form. I think that while maybe one didn't agree with the other in some areas, at the end of the day, they were professionals working and they made it work and they were trying their best. And I think they put their opinions aside, came to agreements to operate the team. And I think with the Deshaun Watson trade, I could definitely see being, you know, Stefanski not wanting something to do with it. That just makes sense, you know, with all the off the field stuff, especially. And then Barry being like, this is too much, which it turned out to be. And I think Haslam has learned from that. And as he said, he's going to, you know, let the football guys do the football things. So I think there's a bright future ahead for this front office. And I believe that keeping Barry is completely the right decision. I mean, we were just talking earlier about the draft class that he just had. So why, after that draft class, would you get rid of him? Just doesn't make sense.
Fair enough. And what about you, Lysandra? You know, what do you kind of make of the relationship, the Barry and Stefanski relationship, and how it was, and then what it turned out to be?
I think that initially it started out as a good relationship. And I think that the Watson trade really it was a turning point. Who am I kidding here? It was a huge turning point. It caught me off guard. Baker got kicked to the curb. Watson came on through, and I think that there was a disagreement there. And I think from there on out, I think that working relationship, while they tried to keep it professional, as Jacob said, I think that professional relationship deteriorated over time due to differences into who they wanted to draft, and it showed. This last season, Kevin just didn't look like he wanted to be there. So many people even said it. He just had like this get me out of here, help me, save me. like like if you need help, please, do this or whatever. Just he just really didn't look like he wanted to be there. His efforts were just lackadaisical. I think somebody had made a comment online about the Browns just playing better against our rivals. And
yeah, go ahead.
He prepares them great. I mean, there is no lie to that. But one of the things that I did point out is, why can't we prep for that for every game? Those inconsistencies showed, and it showed in the play, it showed in the special teams, it showed in the lethargic offense, and then we have our wonderful defense, which was run by Schwartz. So,
May the Schwartz be with you.
Yes.
And speaking of which, can't wait for the next Spaceballs. To come
I
out.
know. Lord Helmet's back.
Yes, Dark Helmet. Can't go wrong with Dark Helmet. Yeah, I think that Stefanski's part of his undoing was his willingness to be agreeable. And to your point, Jacob, setting his ego aside, in theory, maybe people have talked a lot of smack online.
And it gets to a point, like, setting your ego aside to be a professional is completely different from setting your ego aside so you can just roll with just go with the flow to, an extreme degree.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So, unfortunately, I think he's actually probably relieved. He really is. He probably is relieved. Look at his poor beard. Look at his poor beard and how
It's
gray.
totally white.
It is. It's like when a president gets done serving a term, how much
I
older they look. He looked wore out. I feel bad. They talked about it earlier on Cleveland radio. You feel for the family. And I know that Andrew Berry talked about his personal relationship with and his kids' relationship, his little one's relationship with Kevin. And so I think they are, in fact, they do have a really good relationship from that perspective. But it certainly seemed like there were some cracks in the armor and some chinks in the armor, some bumps in the road. But I don't know. And this is actually a good question. You talked about what you were saying, Lysandra, about getting ready for our rivals. Worst two losses against teams with higher draft pick, Titans and Jets. And
yeah, there's no
excuse. Yeah, no excuse. And then how could we not get prepared for that? Well, also part of Kevin's problem was he didn't want to be. He seemed to want to be the nice guy and be a players type coach, and also a friend to his staff. How long did it take for him to get rid of Joe Woods? How and he wouldn't get rid of Bubba Ventrone. That special teams was atrocious. It was absolutely atrocious. Yet they wouldn't get rid of him, and it cost us multiple games this season. And that was crazy. And if you're not willing to make those moves, I don't know what the power structure was in order for when it comes to his ability to say, "Hey, this guy needs to be fired," or whatever it is. But
I'm sure he definitely had control of that over the coordinators, I would say.
I would hope so. I know that Ventrone, at least, he was also given the title to get him from Indy. He was assistant head coach. Is that correct, Jacob? Am I remembering that correctly?
From
Bubba Ventrone, they had to give him a better title or an upgrade to get him from Indianapolis, to bring him from Indianapolis to Cleveland. So I think he was also maybe an assistant head coach. I could be wrong there, so don't hold me to that. Okay, moving on. That aside, now there's a question here, and this is perfect. This goes right into what we wanted to talk about. So, one, there was a question about Harbaugh. And if he became available, would he be a good fit in Cleveland? I don't think he'd put up with the crap, but I'd love to have him. Heck, if they fired Mike Tomlin, I know Pittsburgh fans are sick of being in the playoffs every year and winning every year. But you know what? I'll take that. I'll take winning every year and being in the playoffs and having a reasonably good team, even if it means we're not going to the Super Bowl. That's okay. I'd like to be competitive every single season and have a chance to win the division. Will Stefanski land on his feet? Rumor has it he's going to interview with the Giants.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the current coaching vacancies, guys.
There's a lot of them. I might have missed a couple here in between working and.
Yeah. There were a couple additional ones that came in today. Middle of the season, the New York Giants fired Brian Daboll, and that was mid-season. They've got the number 5 pick. You've got the Browns now with a vacancy, the number 6 pick. The Atlanta Falcons last night fired Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
After 2 seasons, 2 8-9 seasons, and general manager Terry Fontenot, they do not have a first-round pick. They used their first-round pick, to trade up in this past year's draft to get James Pierce Jr. Arizona Cardinals, after 3 years, they fired Jonathan Gannon. They have the number 3 pick, and then they've got their own quarterback situation. The Titans are at number 4. They fired Brian Callahan midway through the season. They obviously were number 1 last year. They got Cam Ward, and the Las Vegas Raiders fired Pete Carroll today. Pete Carroll's got to be relieved to go back to retirement. That was brutal out in Vegas. They have the number 1 pick in the draft. So the first question we'll go to just here, because this was posed, of will Stefanski land on his feet? I think he will.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if one of these jobs is the best idea for him, but he'll be just fine. I mean, look, Pat Shurmur, after he got fired by the Browns, he got hired by the Giants, and he sucked there too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. I guess looking at the coaching vacancies, the Giants, Browns, Falcons, Cardinals, Titans, and Raiders. Jacob, I'll go to you first. Which of those jobs do you think is the most desirable? If you just had to pick one.
First, I want to real quickly touch on the Kevin landing on his feet. I don't think he's gonna do much this year. I think maybe next year, and then definitely the year after that. He's gonna be looking for a job, and it's not gonna take him too long. He's gonna have more options than non-options, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Because, there's a reason he's the 2-time coach of the year. They didn't just give him the award for nothing.
Absolutely.
He earned those awards in non-ideal situations, winning with, as you said earlier, PJ Walker and DTR.
Yeah.
So I think you'll find somewhere to be, and I think, as a lot of comparisons I've seen, he can be similar to a career path of a Baker Mayfield, where Baker Mayfield, he's not horrific. He's not, the worst thing ever seen. He's not Jamarcus Russell. But just the way it is right now, you can't hold on to him. It would be a detriment to do so. But you see, he goes to Carolina, cut midway through the season, goes to LA, doesn't learn the playbook, and he wins them a game on a game-winning drive, and he finds himself in Tampa Bay, where they just missed the playoffs.
Right,
And he has a complete renaissance to his career. And then, so when I see with Kevin Stefanski, I see the same things. You can't hold on to him because otherwise that would be a detriment. But he had plenty of bright spots, 2-time coach of the year. I feel like he might take 1 to 2 years away, reflecting, come back, and be a good coach.
Is he going to go back to the laboratory and work on some things, come up with some strategy? A lot of people said that his offense was stale. Was it stale because our team didn't have the tools for the job?
I think it was figured out. It was a known offense. and you could still run that offense. You could go out there right now with the team with the best player at every position, and you can win games with that offense. Problem is, we didn't have those players, and for 2 years, Kevin, instead of maybe adapting a bit, just to try and get something a little extra, knowing that he doesn't have the greatest personnel, instead just is static.
Yeah, no, that makes absolute sense. Now, okay, so we're getting lots of comments here. Again, everybody talking about the best position, but which of those coaching vacancies do you think will be best, Jacob?
I think Giants are up there. They have top pick, a top 3 pick, and they
I think
have
is it the five? Is it the Giants have the 5 pick, right?
5. Is it 5?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. It is
yeah, top
5.
5 pick with Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbu, Malik Neighbors, and some good defensive linemen, including Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, maybe he's young, and Brian Burns. And there is definitely a path there if you are if you want to go to New York. And with a top 5 pick, you're not in position to get a quarterback, but you don't need them. So
Exactly.
you are put in a perfect position to draft a very good player at a position that you absolutely need. And I think that could possibly be offensive line for the Giants. And I
Okay.
think a potential another team that could be good, but just has a couple of flaws that keep them short is the Falcons. They
Yep.
have good players, but as you said, they don't have their pick. They traded it to the Rams to try and get the edge rushers. 8-9 season. You can work with that with the people there. Kyle Pitts, first round tight end. You have Drake London. You have
And he
Darnell
worked
Mooney.
with Kirk Cousins
Did yep.
in Minnesota. So
Oh, now that would be a good spot for that. Might be a spot for Kevin there. But but you think those are good? Those are enviable of the vacancies. Those are some good spots there. Thank you, Brent, for that. Jacob, getting some compliments there with your analysis. Appreciate that. That's why we have him on. He's the guy. He is the guy. He's doing very nicely. Lysandra, what do you and Jacob? I didn't mean to cut you off. So you would say the Giants and the Falcons are kind of
The
your top.
Falcons, I think the Falcons had kind of it's not the best position, I think, but would you rather go to the Jets who just sold all their best players to tank? Would you rather go to the Cardinals who have some okay
Yeah,
players,
I think no, you're right.
but
I think you're right.
they're not in a position to draft a quarterback, but they need one, which is I think one of the things if you're looking to take on one of these teams, do you need a quarterback? Are you in position to get one? And if you're saying no to both questions, then I think it's not a
That's a
good place
recipe
to
for
be.
disaster. It's a
Yeah.
recipe for disaster. Lysandra, what do you think of those positions? Giants, Browns, Falcons, Cardinals, Titans, Raiders. I mean, which one do you think is the most desirable position that's on the market? Because the Browns are going to be, as part of this, going to be competing for people. Certain people are going to be better for one job versus another, but I just love your thoughts on that.
well, I'm gonna say the Browns. I'm gonna say that I'm just gonna put a side note in here. I personally think we should give Jim Schwartz a try at head coach for the Browns. Keep him
Right.
internal.
Yeah.
And then maybe have obviously have somebody else calling the plays on the offense since he's more defensive
Yeah.
minded. But I would like to
I think
see
one of the
that.
things I want to real quickly say with Schwartz, I think he was a head coach at some point.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
And
yes he was.
And I think what I was hearing is that he didn't really want to go back to a head coaching position. So I know after
Yeah. Well,
the first season we had him, people were like, is he going to leave us to go to a better opportunity as a head coach? Not really, as, there be like, Schwartz doesn't
Yeah.
want to go back there.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Well,
again, maybe his opinion's changed.
Maybe. So, yeah.
possibly.
So you think
Possibly.
do you think the Browns are the best destination of the 6 openings, or which opening do you think is the best?
I'm probably going to have to say the Giants. I'm going to agree with Jacob. They have the young quarterback. They have the young players, Scatterboo, and they have the defense. They have Malik Neighbors. They have everything going for them right now. I mean, the Giants have kind of been in like a crappy rut for a while, and they finally have some formidable players that can compete in the what is it, the NFC East that they're in. That's
Yes.
always a fun division there. So I would have to agree that if you're a coach and you're looking for a young talented team, the Giants is a really good place. But with that said, if you're going to coach in New York, a market like that, you're going to have to go in there with a real big set of balls.
You have to have a very thick skin. I mean,
yes,
you have to have very thick skin.
It's like going into Philly. I mean, Sirianni's like the perfect guy. He's like the screw you guy, and he's like, fight the power. I hate you all. Like Sirianni's perfect for the Eagles, and I think that the Giants need a coach that embodies that New York grit. And I don't see Stefanski having.
Although he's a Philly guy.
He is, but
he talks about that all the time. He's used to the media. I don't know. I don't think I really don't
think that the New York media is going to go for the "we need to get better" chat every week.
It's gonna we could do the "we need to get better" podcast. We need to be better podcast. This is brought to you by the Collaborative Thought Partners. We need to get better.
Yeah. But I think that the Titans are probably another good one. They have Cam Ward, and he's promising. He just got injured, though. Arizona Cardinals are in a quarterback shitstorm right now, and not even sure if they're going to keep Lord Helmet. Or what is his name? I call him Lord Helmet.
Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I always call him Lord Helmet. That's just
did we say? What a great transition. We're talking Spaceballs earlier. We're talking Kyler Murray.
Great transition.
Call of Duty there.
And I would have to say the least attractive of these jobs would probably have to be the Raiders. Great that it's in Vegas, but I just feel like there really isn't any sort of direction going with the quarterback situation. And it's just kind of like
mitts. They got tiny mitts there, and Geno Smith.
Got small hands.
He does have small hands. Wait a second. Who's taller, Murray or Gabriel? I don't know. I'd have to look up the official stats. Find out the measurements here. We'll have them stand back to back. Jacob's going to look up that. All right. Let's just talk real quick here about the NFL playoffs. In the AFC, the Broncos secure the number 1 seed. The Squealers sneak in as the Ravens missed the chance at a game-winning field goal to end the game last night. So the Steelers and Texans, Steelers host that one. Jags and Bills, the Jaguars hosting the Bills. And then the Patriots, Chargers. Over in the NFC, Seahawks secure the number 1. Let's see what's going to happen with Sam Darnold. Will he turn
I got
into
your
a
answer here.
Okay, what is the answer? Let's go to the
Kyler Murray
expert.
stands at an impressive 5 foot 10 inches, and Gabriel, drumroll please,
5'8",
is 5'11", 1 inch taller.
But he's not as fast. He's not as
not as fast.
That's with the elevator cleats.
It is with the elevator cleats, exactly. Oh my. Continue. So thank you, Jacob. Continuing over, we got the Panthers hosting the Rams. The Panthers get in at 8-9 out of the NFC South, taking on the Rams. Eagles and the 49ers, and then the Bears and the Packers. I guess just really briefly, Jacob, is there one game that in the AFC and one game in the NFC that you're particularly looking forward to? Who do you think the favorites are? And then Lysandra, I'd love to hear your thought as well. Jacob, go for it, bud.
Favorite game, Bills, Jaguars. That's going to be a tough matchup. I think the Bills, if you're going talent for talent, are just above the Jaguars, but this is in Jacksonville.
Duval.
That's exactly what I was about to say. And I think it's going to be a bloody match. and it'll be a well-deserved victor who comes out on top.
Okay, and what about in the NFC? What's the
NFC?
matchup you are looking forward to most?
Niners, Eagles. I think that is going to be an insane game in Philadelphia. Crowd's going to be loud.
Oh, at the link. Lots of
Yep.
cheesesteaks going around there. Maybe
Yep.
what's the other thing they have there? Like something with pork over there in Philly. It's something that us Jews don't know about. But I'm not so sure. Lysandra, what about you? What is your, the game that intrigues you the most in the AFC playoffs, the wild card round, and over in the NFC as well?
I'm really interested to see the Bears and the Packers game.
Agreed.
I am very invested in Caleb Williams' ascent since last season. He has made like a complete 180 from last year, from what I remember seeing him playing as. And now they're going up against the Packers. And of course, this is like Bears Packers is like the ultimate playoff rivalry here. And I feel like it's the Bears' time to lay it on the Packers, and it's Caleb Williams' time. And I feel like Jordan Love has maybe digressed a little bit. And
a little bit.
He's terrible. Like, he's great. Like, I saw a fantasy gem in him several years ago before people even gave a crap about him when he got put in the game. I was like, this guy's going to be good, and he's solid. But I think this is Caleb Williams' time to establish himself in Bears history. They haven't had a quarterback, and quote me if I'm wrong if he's reached it yet, but the Bears hadn't have a quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in a season. And if you want, Jacob, can you verify that? Because I believe that is, Caleb Williams
but and in their history, yeah. What is
in Bears history? So he has, I think it's his time to shine.
Let me see. 3,942 yards.
So he'll hit 4,000 in the game.
In the playoffs.
The playoffs for sure. And I saw a question here, Mike. You asked, is Love even going to be back? I think he'll be back because he had a concussion.
Yeah, he was cleared to play week 18, but he was sat because they were locked into the 7th seed.
Okay, and here's the information you need to know. This will confirm what you've asked, Lysandra. He broke the franchise record for yards, that Caleb Williams. But since he hasn't hit 4,000, then obviously nobody has, since he broke the franchise record. I feel like the Bears have been very fortunate this year. I guess, when you play well, good things happen.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what the playoffs are all about, baby? It is about when your team peaks. And this is the time of the season right now. Like right now, the Jaguars, they're peaking at that moment right now where they can march in and upset the Bills and just take it all.
They've got a home game, and you know what? So
that's the other game that I'm really excited about, because I think that the Jaguars are that team right now. They're peaking and they're at like that chemistry, but the Patriots too. It's like Drake May is having himself a season. This season is going to be this playoff run is going to be amazing to watch, because there's so many different wild cards that could come out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I can't believe it that here we are and we're talking about
playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Playoffs? I love it.
Yeah, we're talking about playoffs, and really for the Browns, we're always talking about this. Because that's what's going to be coming up, the NFL draft chime there for the Browns. So if you had to pick, I guess for me, I'm looking forward. I think that, like you said, Jacob, that Jags-Bills game is going to be very good. Patriots, I think you're going to have a lot of good matchups. I'm really going to be vested. The game I'll be most vested in is the Steelers and the Texans. Go CJ Stroud. Please knock out Pittsburgh. Over in the NFC, I think that the Packers, quite frankly, they've had some rough luck losing Micah Parsons. I want them to beat the Bears. I'm sorry. I didn't like. I wasn't a huge fan of Caleb Williams, so I'm going to go with the pull for the Packers there. I kind of want the Eagles to get knocked out with all their dysfunction.
Yeah.
It would be kind of a cool story if the Panthers were to win. But isn't it hilarious? They get in at 8-9, and thanks to the Falcons win, Baker and the Bucks got to go home.
I know. What a
so that's tough. That is very. Oh, wait a second. What do you got? Bears are going to lose first round. Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game. Very. That's a Saturday night, I believe, and I am absolutely looking forward to that matchup there. And of course, that Steelers Texans game is going to be on Monday night. I've had my friends complaining about why are they playing on Monday night? And look, Monday, as opposed to Mike Brown and the Bengals franchise.
I do not have the money. Okay.
Well, all these networks have the money. Okay, they have the money and they want to pay for it. So that is what's going to happen. Who do you think's coming out? If you had to make a prediction on a Super Bowl matchup, Lysandra, who would you go with in a Super Bowl matchup? And then Jacob, I'd love your opinion on that as well.
Oh. You want my answer right now?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I want pick.
Oh, you know what?
Who's
I'm
it going to be?
Go a little nuts here, and I'm going to say we're going to have a little bit of a history repeating itself. And we're going to have both of the bye teams in the Super Bowl, the Broncos and the Seahawks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Seahawks beat the snot out of Peyton Manning at MetLife Stadium.
But that's only if Sam Darnold doesn't shit the bed. So it's really like one of those like hit or miss. I don't know yet, but it would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Jacob, who do you think's coming out of the AFC? Who's coming out of the NFC to match up in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to give you a couple things here. I'm going to give you worst possible matchup. Worst matchup, I can see Steelers, Eagles.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
Eagles back in this season of all the crazy.
Dude, I got dinner here in a minute.
And all these different teams. I don't want to see the Eagles again. Boo. And then the Steelers are the Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like if that happens, I'm going to have to say this. You stink.
I agree. Okay. Next.
Right, but what would your okay, that's the one you don't want. What
Okay, that's the message I don't want. I think I got two more. Matchup that I think will happen. This one's really hard. I think it could be. I'm gonna lean
to the left.
I'm gonna lean definitely a team from the AFC against a team from the NFC. I think that'll definitely happen.
All right, smart guy.
But in all seriousness, I'm gonna go Patriots Seahawks.
You're going Patriots Seahawks. I could see it. Seahawks defense is amazing.
Yeah,
that's
going to take them far.
It is. And it's going to be a matter of the quarterback play not messing up. I think that Darnold messed up. He crapped out last year. But
somebody in their comments here says he's going to shit the bed. I was kind of giggling there. So.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, so Jaguars will make. Well, yeah, I think the Jaguars will make it. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay, good.
I actually want to see the Bills go. I have a little bit of a affinity for the Bills.
And that's what I was going to get to. My third one is Super Bowl I want to see the most.
Okay.
I think I want the Bills against. I'm going to go the Rams. Rams. I think that would be entertaining. All right. I'd be really entertained.
It would be. All right, Rams, Broncos. Rams will destroy Knicks. All right, good pick. Love it. I am going to say that I think, for one, the Bills are going to be kicking themselves. The window is right there it's there for the taking. Finally, the Chiefs aren't in their way, and somehow they can't figure it out. They have not looked great this season. They've had moments of greatness. They've got a great roster. I could see them getting ousted by the Jags, quite frankly.
I know.
and they're going to be kicking themselves for that. The teams, I guess, I don't want to be there. All right, so I'm going to have to. This is how I figure out who I want. It's based on who I don't want, right? Okay, I don't want the Steelers there. I can tell you that 100%. I also don't want the Chargers there because I hate Jim Harbaugh. I don't have a problem with the Patriots. I like Mike Vrabel. He went to Walsh Jesuit, man. He's a Walsh Warrior. He's a man in the Ohio State University. The Jags, I kind of am angry with them because, they were supposed to give us a better pick by stinking, and they're screwing it all up. And also, Trevor Lawrence needs to get a haircut. And so
come on.
Hey, look. Hey, well, wait. I'm sorry. I don't like his haircut. What can I say? Get a haircut, hippie. I'd like to see the Texans. I'd like to see the Texans get there from the AFC, although people will be mad. See, the Browns built the Texans with that trade. Nick Chubb, great story. If he's able to play, he gets to the Super Bowl. That would be amazing. Over in the NFC, I really don't have anything that I'm like, oh, not this team, except for Philly. I think Philly might be the team that I like the least out of the NFC.
They're boring.
Well, they're boring. I just don't appreciate them and their tush push. That kind of is bothersome. And this is a great point. Josh Allen never won a road playoff game. Where Mike, if you are correct, I think you are. He hasn't had to play many on the road. That's going to be difficult because they are the number 6 seed. The only way they're playing a home game is if somehow the AFC Championship was the Bills and the Chargers. Do you think the Broncos are fugazi as the number 1 seed? Are they really that good? Is Bo Nix really that good? I think
their defense is elite.
They have a great defense.
And they have a great coach.
To answer the question, Josh Allen is 0-4 on the road in the playoffs.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we just can't have that. We can't have that. No, I think the Rams are going to be intriguing. Sean McVay. We'll see what he has to do there, but they're going to have to play they're going to play at least a couple of road games. And it's here is hot take. Every road team wins this week. So this guy's going
that might
Texans,
happen.
Bills, Chargers, Rams, Niners, and
throw that
Packers.
on a parlay and give it a whirl.
I think they should go on that with a parlay. Well, look, there was a lot that I had on the rundown on the agenda here, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason.
We had nuCLEar on the Browns.
We had to pivot here, and I think that is now. You've given me a great that is a great segue, and I'd like to get to that moment. This show is going nuCLEar, and with that, Lysandra, I'd like you to tell us what has you going nuCLEar this week.
Oh, geez, where do I begin? Honestly, I'm going to have to say just in the past couple of days, I'm a little frightened by Grok AI and everybody putting bikinis on everybody. So it's really annoying. and it makes me not want to post selfies anymore on X. And it's odd and it's kind of annoying. I don't know. There's really no words for it. I mean, I could go nuCLEar even more, but I just have to say it just creep factor.
Hey, that is appreciated. Jacob, do you have anything that is having you going nuCLEar? Mike, agree. Cavs resting guys when we're a play-in team has me going. Yeah, me too, Mike. I agree with that. Jacob, what has you going nuCLEar? You went back to school this week. I mean, having to go back to school.
That's rough. Well, I think I'm going to go with a more general answer, nothing specific, but people. Just all types of people. People who talk about stuff that they have no clue on. Just people just not doing any form of due diligence and just typing in one Google search to answer to answer a simple question. And it's just, it's all people.
Hey, fair enough.
Especially people online.
Yes, I agree in so many different ways. Well, let me tell you what has me going nuCLEar. Now, this could change for me at any one given moment. As I said, this doesn't need to be sports related. It could be anything related. What has me going nuCLEar is the lack of accountability and responsibility by people at large industries health insurance. How is it that you're saying I reached my deductible, yet then you're adjusting a bill, and by that exact amount, I am now below my deductible? Why would that happen? If I haven't met my deductible, why would you adjust that? And I call these people and I talk to these bozos in some other country, and they can't explain anything. And then they stick me on hold for an hour. I was on the phone for an hour for them to not be able to explain why this person did this. If I didn't hit my deductible, how would you adjust that? What were you doing? Fired. I want you fired. I want you fired. I want you to fix it. I am so sick of these people. And with that, health insurance, you've got me going nuclear. Okay.
Damn. I would have picked something better that pissed me off, but yeah, I just.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I, yes. And
I wouldn't even say the bikini thing pissed me off. It's just, yeah, I mean, she was doing that, but then I started seeing it from all kinds of like,
I don't know. I saw Kevin Stefanski in a bikini and I was scared.
Lots of basement guys going and running with that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about never see white collar. Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah.
All talk, no action. So, yeah, I know I went a little bit off there. I apologize for that.
I love it.
These are the things. Jacob gets a front row seat to this. He comes home from school, and I'm busy yelling at people. And I'll share this story just for all of our fans out there. First of all, thank you everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Lysandra, thank you for being here. And I'll give you one moment to just share again where we can find you on all of your social media. And thank you to Paulie Campione, part of Collected and Connected a Good Vibes community. Thank you for having us here on this platform. Jacob, thank you for being with us. But it's kind of crazy that the things we have to deal with, and on any given day, I'm going nuts over here. I'm constantly going nuts. And even in the sports world, in the realm of these things, these discussions that we have, it certainly happens a lot, but this is a good place. This is a good place to be. We have good times here. So I don't know where I was going with that, and I'm going to go back to you. Lysandra, tell us again where we can find you. When is your next Bougie Sports, the Pod Squad?
I was just waiting for your Jerry Springer moment. Take care of yourselves and each other for a second there.
I might have gone to that. I may have gone to that, but it was almost there. It was almost there. No, tell us again, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on X, handle as
it's shown on the screen at
Lavita Lysandra, and you can check out the Real Squad Pod at the Real Squad Pod, as well as at Bougie Sports on X and at Bougie Sports on YouTube. And we will be live on the 7th at 8 p.m. with some sports talk and pop culture talk and all the things. So we hope to see you guys there. And also just keep your eyes open for a little rebranding that we're doing in a couple months here. Some new photos and some new content. So we hope to see you guys around.
But here's the question. Is it going to be recorded or
do it live?
Oh, we are live.
Yeah, speaking of that, can't wait for Paramount Plus and the UFC.
Oh my God. Speaking of that, I can't wait for the next UFC.
That is going to be good. That is going to be good. So again, thank you so much for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. Jacob, where can I find you other than in this house and at school?
You can find me, I don't know.
In your room? Okay. In this house. I think that's a good place to find you. That is a good place to find you. All right, guys. Well, everybody who contributed in the chat, thank you so much. This made it a lively and enjoyable and fun show. Had a great time here this evening. So, for my guests, Jacob Greenberg and Lysandra, I'm Ethan Greenberg, and you have been tuned in to Going nuCLEar, full-blown coverage of the land.